with HYHY, is he going to stay here for a long time? Like, is this going to be a situation where they're really trying to bully out the EXP laners?
I think it's understandable here because Lolios will obviously win out against Panda in lane. Beatrix versus Claude will always lean towards Beatrix. So they're going to focus on the EXP lane because they know that HYHY will have a hard time against Lola. And Team HAQ instantly responds with the same thing because having two people in that lane allows them to roam a lot more quickly.
That's so annoying. Man actually managed to steal one of the creeps. I was just about to say, before that, looking at this, Kuza is there trying to get a kill onto Min, but Min with the sprint is able to run away. I was about to say the setup for Kuza's emblem, extra damage to monsters as well as the cooldown time on the retribution. Lolios looks like there's nowhere for you to go. First blood to Panda.
That's a nice gank from Gary right there, knowing that a lot of RSG are in the bottom side, instantly taking advantage of that. Team HAQ, their rotations have been pretty on point this season, and that trend is continuing here. I'm also noticing Min, his emblem is pretty greedy. He's got Avarice on the Roam Faramis.
It's greedy, but at the same time, it does build that mindset. I have to do something. I have to catch someone out. If I want the goal, I need to do something about it. And I kind of feel like it is okay just because Faramis is not really the tankiest of all roamers. So he needs a way to build a little bit more gold than the usual so that he can complete his items a little bit faster so that he can actually catch people out with his Shadow Stampede more consistently.
We can see that Team HAQ has instantly forced RSG to change their plans. Now HAQ has to assist Lolios because they're afraid of the Dare-Off gang, meaning that HYHY is actually going to have a tough time against Lola in lane. And that means that they can allow Gary to play around the bottom side. But Panda, though, taking a lot of abuse up here. Kuza coming in. This is probably a dead Claude. Yeah, no way he's getting out of that.
Yeah, that was a little bit too easy for Kuza. But right now, Team HAQ, they managed to get the turtle for themselves. Is it important? Maybe not, just because the way RSGMY is playing, it looks like they're really focusing on the lane. Because look at the Dyrov. He's inside RSGMY's jungle.
Yep, he's just going to be stealing camps away. And this is something that Team HAQ has been doing quite consistently. When they know they have the stronger early game composition, they not only more efficiently farm their jungle, they try and take as much farm from the enemy as possible as well. They actually prioritize ganking the lanes a little bit less.
Yeah, in this kind of game, I guess it doesn't hurt that much for Kuza just because as a Bellman, you're not really buff dependent. You know, you want gold, you want experience, that's great, but if you don't get it, it's not the end of the world because the key for them to win is mostly Kuza as well as Izanami, and as I said that Izanami got caught out by Mun.
It's going to be hard for Sicilian to get away from a Kadita after all, especially if Min is there to make...
that would have been so cool!
That's actually a nice combo.
That would have been so cool!
Oh my goodness. But good reaction timing from Kuza to be able to dash out of that situation. I don't think he would have died, but he did deny a very cool play from Team HAQ, and sometimes psychological damage does matter.
No, like sure, he probably would have survived, but we would have wanted to see that because then we can hype up Min and Mun even more. Like
psychological damage.
Psychological damage, and right now Kuza is taking literal damage from Gary. Same thing for Izanami, try to run away. He manages. I mean, why did he go back in?
Why?
For Gary, we hyped you up. Why'd you go back in?
That was just a bad choice. He underestimated the distance.
Why'd you go back in?
Unfortunately walked right into shotgun radius though. So Team HAQ are making some mistakes themselves. I guess he wanted to set up for Min as he comes in with the Cult Altar. Instantly popped though by Lolios, meaning that they can't actually continue this push. So they'll settle for gold shielding.
I'm sorry for asking the obvious questions, but like, why'd you go back in? Like, seeing like half HP and everything, and then they're like, I cannot play this. Famous last words. Yeah. I cannot play this.
I don't even know which player you're referring to specifically.
Oh no, for both teams.
Yeah, a lot just happened there. I can understand Man maybe. You sometimes do underestimate the shotgun damage, and he thought he had enough iframes. That was good timing from Lolios, but Izanami had no excuse. He definitely knew that he could die to Gary. He just got greedy.
Famous last words, man. I cannot play this. Man right now from behind. Lolios and Hot, nowhere to go. Petrify has been used, and right now Panda going in, trying to deal all the damage onto Lolios. He has to use his flicker, trying to run away, but right now Team HAQ, this is a very free turret for them. Lola all alone. He tries to go back in, and Izanami manages to get a kill. Why'd you go back in?
That's a bit of a mistake again by Lola there. I'm not sure if he still had his quicksand guard. I assume he did, and he thought he'd be able to jump behind them and heal up with that second skill instead of running away with his ultimate. But underestimating the lethal counter again. These teams are playing a little bit sloppy here.
I just want someone to clip this and just let the title be I cannot play this, and then just show all of the failed outplays. But either way, right now for the side of Team HAQ, we do have to acknowledge 1,000 gold lead for them is looking very nice. It's looking very spicy, and they have to be careful just because Man on this Kadita. Look at the positioning of him. He's actually holding on to this crucial bushes, the ones that a lot of these squishy carries will eventually move towards. Izanami so far, he's been on an island by himself. The rest of its team isn't helping out that much, and we can definitely see Team HAQ taking advantage of that.
And you can see that they're distracting RSG and Y right now with Lola in the top lane and moving over to the mid side, and that means that Panda gets a free tower down bottom. However, RSG are actually able to trade a tier 1 up top as well, so there's not going to be a big gold gap there, although Gary stealing the orange buff away again will contribute a bit to that.
Yeah, looking at the damage, Gary is definitely dealing so much damage. 15,000 damage in this game so far. Lolios is not far from him. And like now, Min and Man engaged. A very free kill onto Lolios. What was that? That was so fast. And Gary wants a little bit more. Looking at Izanami. HP is so low. Panda goes in. He still has to call Alter. He can survive for a very long time. HAQ and Izanami is basically almost dead. And looks like Team HAQ manages to get this mid lane turret with an aggressive play.
I'm sorry, RSGMY, but this is how you use the Cult Altar. You have to be more aggressive. Team HAQ, they're fully making use of this. Full diving the mid tower, getting 2 free kills. And I do feel like Lolios was a bit out of position there. He really did not anticipate the bush ambush, even though he should have. He might die again, but is able to flicker away. And now Min nearly dying. He's able to get away with the concealed play. Lola will sacrifice his life, but not before he takes HY with him.
Yeah, RSGMY. That fight just now was kind of also a little bit sloppy. Two members were basically jumbled together, making it easy for Lola to jump back in. It was a good thing he didn't secure more kills than he was supposed to. If that was a Fighter Emblem Khalid, he probably would have gotten enough spellvamp to survive that. But either ways, right now, RSGMY, they're 4,000 gold behind. It's still okay. If only we know how much stack does Izanami have, because right now they're really looking at Izanami as well as Lolios to dish out the damage. Consequently, their KD is the same, 1, 2, and 1.
Well, when you consider that Izanami is actually a level behind the rumor Faramis on Team HAQ, you can tell that he's not having a very good time. Not to mention Lola in the EXP lane matching Kuza in EXP2. Team HAQ continuing to apply the pressure because why not?
Yeah, why not? And Izanami has been caught in a very, very nice catch from Man, but they're not done yet. RSGMY, are they capitalizing on his mistake? Min pulls Kuza back in, but not enough for Kuza to secure a kill. And right now, Panda is all alone. He goes back. Kuza is still there. Kuza is taking quite a lot of damage. They have to go away. Lolios, do you want to really fight this out? HY with the Esmeralda, it's not that tanky going up against Team HAQ.
I was a little bit too aggressive by Gary there, and really good timing from Lolios. The Cult Altar did actually save the Dirop, but he timed his Renner shot perfectly for when he would respawn after the Cult Altar, and that allowed him to pick up the kill. But if we're looking at the items right now, Team HAQ are obviously in a comfortable position. Panda already having Demon Hunter Sword and Golden Staff. We actually have Malefic Roar on both Gary and Lola as well, so that's a lot of damage. RSGMY has to be careful though.
This is very surprising. HY is so low down in gold, way lower than I thought. He has the Enchanted Talisman, but he has not completed his Oracle just yet. On the other side, Lola has 2 damage items. He had the Blade of Heptases as well as the Malefic Roar. I did not know HY was that down in gold. No wonder he wasn't that tanky to go up against the backline from Team HAQ.
Because HAQ had to go and support Lolios instead, they couldn't support HY, and that means the Esmeralda just has a much rougher time. But we're actually seeing Izanami is scaling up pretty well. 2 shots from the bad impact was enough to bring Man down to this level of HP, so Team HAQ does actually have to be careful here.
Well, RSG, if they really want a reverse sweep, did he just No, I thought Lolia secured the orange buff, but no, it still went over to Kuza. I feel like at this point in the game, it's better to just give it to the Loliels, the man on this Beatrix. But either way, RSGMY is not entirely impossible. They just have to bait out Min and Man's engage. However, we gotta say, Min and Man, their engage has been pretty clean. Man consistently with the Breath of the Ocean, managing to get the correct target. I mean, it's one thing to get a target, but getting the correct target. First he got Loliels, and then he got Izanami. If this keeps up, it's gonna be an annoying game for the damage dealers of RSGMY.
You have to know that Min and Man have some of the most consistent trigger fingers I have seen here, but they're engaging. Min going in, Cold Altar pop down to counter the lethal counter itself. Lola out of position here, so they're gonna be stuck under the tower, but the Lord already takes it out. Lola will lose his life, but they trade the inhibitor for it. I don't think that's too bad. Gary just comfortably tanking HY. HY is like, you can hit me all you want. I'm going to take your inhibitor and I'm just going to walk away.
Yeah, that's kind of what feels bad when you're there, but that's literally nothing that you can do. A level 11 Esmeralda going up against a level 14 Dyrov, where Dyrov already has a natural advantage against you. Kind of surprised Gary did not just take it, especially after the Ling game. I was kind of like, I could probably take this 1v1.
Man could be in danger here. The Ratri on top of him already, slowing him down. But a nice placed Breath of the Ocean, forcing Kuza to walk around, means that he will actually be escaping. But he will be losing all of his cooldowns for a little while.
I need a t-shirt for Min and Man, man. Like, these guys have been something else here in the MPL. I kind of want to see them go to M4, honestly, to face up against all the other international threats out there. But right now, looking at the Lord push advantage, 26,000 tower damage is pretty impressive. Right now, for the side of RSGMY, just because they do have the Sicilian, this is one of those games where I will not call them out just yet, because they have a lot of opportunities. As long as Team HAQ makes one mistake, then they can capitalize on it. But Min, so far in this game, has not died. He's the roamer, and he's the only person in his team that has not died just yet.
Oh, speaking of dying though, HY could be in danger. 1v3, Abysm Strike going to miss, but Man actually gets caught out by Lolios on the side. Cold Altar now popped on top of Gary and Panda. Min trying to pull multiple members forward. RSG quite low, but they're also dishing a lot of damage with the bad impact. A nice Raging Sandstorm to catch out one, but a double kill from Gary will secure the Ballman. Panda nearly dying as well to Lolios. RSG actually trade that 2 for 2.
Yeah, right now they gotta look at Izanami. Izanami is very, very dangerous. If you can catch Izanami, you win, right? That's the only thing in Team HAQ's mind right now. Catch Izanami, you win. As long as Izanami has the range advantage, he can dish way more damage than even Panda can dish out, but you gotta be careful of that.
Yeah, he just got the Winter Trunkian too, so now it's even gonna be harder to catch out the Sicilian. We did mention, gives Izanami a damage hero, but now they're trying to retaliate. HY jumping in, Ma nearly dying, and he actually does! Lolios with the snipe again! Catches out to Kadita. Here comes Gary! He steals it with the retribution! Keeping Team HAQ alive. Gary gets the kill on HY. Lola taking a lot of damage. Lethal counter will finish him off. Panda still trying to dish out enough, but Kuza is pretty tanky right now. Team HAQ will have to back this off.
A lot of things happened there, but we gotta say, Gary secures the Lord. That was clutch. But look at the damage coming out from the side of RSGMY. Lolios managing to snipe out mine. Great. But the follow-up after that, the side of RSGMY, they have the damage. They have good positioning now to actually take the fights from Team HAQ. And Team HAQ, they realize that not just Izanami, but Lolios is starting to get comfortable. Looking at the items over here, Lolios has the Blade of Despair, the Malefic Roar, as well as the Wind of Nature. Quite a lot of damage, looking like his Wind of Nature might still be in cooldown, probably like what, a minute or like 40 seconds, but by the time the Lord comes, I don't think he has his Wind of Nature just yet.
This is going to be a big defense, but Panda has already been chunked down to basically 20% HP. I don't know who did that, but I'm assuming it was Lolios there, so it's going to be harder for Team HAQ to defend, to kind of push this out. Luminous Lord already dead. Min still trying to go in with the Cold Altar, but it is not enough, so they want to settle for an inhibitor, but Falling Star Moon is going to catch them out. Lola going to be left in the dust. He's going to be sacrificed to allow Team HAQ to escape.
Did you see how much HP just disappeared? He had like, what, 70% HP, and then it was like 15%. All in just one shot. I don't know if it's just Izanami or just Lolios or both damage stacking up. with each other right now. Man has been found out. Min, is he going to pull Kuza into the turret? Not far enough just yet. RSG MY, right now they have quite a good advantage. Gary having to use his Abyssal Strike just for that one minion.
Right now, Team HAQ are having a bit of an issue. They don't have any assassins on their lineup, meaning that they have no easy way of going to the backline and picking off Lolios and Izanami, meaning that they have to just try and dive, and RSG has been doing a good job of zoning out there. If we look at the damage dealt, Lolios is way ahead of Panda there, and I'm actually surprised that Izanami isn't higher on this list, but I'm assuming that's going to change pretty soon if this game lasts much longer.
Looking at this game, I kind of feel like it will last much longer. Lolios, I think he got a very big spike in terms of gold because I think now, you know, he already completed all of his items, especially with the Weapon Master passive. He's going to deal quite a lot of damage. The last Lord push, only 3,000 tower damage, and we can see a negative gold earned as well as EXP earned, just because RGMY, they actually got a lot of good advantage going up against Team HAQ. And right now, 15 minutes, I think it's pretty crucial. If they were a little bit late on their timings on getting their power spike, Team HAQ could have closed this game like 2 minutes ago.
They actually could have, and that's just how crucial it was that RSG was actually able to win some of those skirmishes right before this. They put themselves back in this game, and they actually have the better late game teamfight composition, even though Team HAQ as the Cult Altar. Lola, in a bit of danger, has to use his ultimate Cult Altar as well. He's right, finding tree, but that's the Cult Altar. We see Man, he's probably going to be dead here, has to use the rough waves to survive. Will Lolio snipe him? No, he will not. So the Kadita survives for now, but wasn't able to execute anyone. Panda jumping in with the Blazing Duet and the Wind of Nature, but not doing enough damage. They can't even find HAQ in the backline, but they are able to zone them off of the Lord. That's what they want to achieve right now. RSG, though, they're not going to give this up. They know they only have one inhibitor. They cannot afford to give this away. Man nearly dying to the snipe. Lola going to be buying a lot of time, but again, nearly dying to the snipe, and the shotgun finishes him off. The Lord isn't quite at range yet. Lolios will survive with the Wind of Nature and the Flicker away from the Abysmal Strike. Man gonna find the rough way. On the Kuza! They get two with H-Try! They forgot he was there!
What a setup! That's what we were talking about. They gotta hold on to this bushes, but Lolios, he wants the kill. Gary as well as Min going forward, and Min finally dies, his first death of the game. But man, that trigger finger as well, because you know the Karita, there's like you gotta wait for a bit, and then he dives into the water. But the timing is so nice. Kuza could not react fast enough to it.
That was beautifully done, and
so
unfortunate.
beautiful.
RSG, they forgot he was there. I'm pretty sure they knew Man was still in that bush. They either assumed that he had left or he had recalled back to base. So that definitely caught them off guard. But also a little bit of miscommunication from Team HAQ too. Min jumped in afterwards with the Cult Altar and hoped. Ooh, that was scary.
I don't think it was like miscalculation. It was just assuming it was empty, and they also would probably assume I won't get one-shotted, right? Because how often, as a battleman, you get one-shotted, right? But right now, the Lord is inside the base of RSGMY. Team HAQ is actually controlling it so well. The Lord is still full HP. Lola is focusing to the front. They're engaging. Team HAQ is going full force, trying to deal as much damage as they can. Kuza has been brought down. He's right in the back line, trying to slow it down a little bit. But Team HAQ, they're going to close it out. Team HAQ with a clean 2-0.
A 2-0 victory. It feels like it's been a while since we've gotten a clean 2-0 sweep here, but Team HAQ will be able to secure victory.